There's our ticket.
Hey, boys! Look what I got here!
Hey, where are the white women at?
Welcome to another episode of the Chickabone News Network. I'm a little bit older than some of the viewers here, and I don't know if you remember that movie or not. That scene came from Blazing Saddles. That was a movie that came out in 1974. Back when you could laugh about things. You didn't have to take things so serious. I mean, they take everything serious now, way beyond what they should be taken serious. Yeah, it's crazy. It really is. But I'll tell you what's even more crazier than that. I'm going to show you a couple of videos. Actually, I'm going to show you some clips from about maybe 3 or 4 or 5 videos. But I'm going to show you 2 pretty long, in-depth clips. 3 of them, I think, maybe. But it's talking about the Ku Klux Klan to begin with. And I'll stop a little bit in between, and I'm going to make a comment or 2 about it. And then it's going to show you the black militia. And I'll make some comments in between doing that video also. But look here. They want to blame white people for everything. And white people want to be secretive, they say. And they want to cause all this chaos and havoc in the country. But the blacks, they say, are peaceful and don't want to do anything but make sure that they're not being attacked by white people, which we never see. Attacked by Asians, which we never see. They're being attacked by, and they're being mistreated by the police, which we never see. You know, Lord have mercy. They're either acting up when they get shot or shot at or whatever, but they want to blame the white man. They want to blame the law enforcement. They blaming unicorns. They're blaming everything in the book. But anyhow, check these clips out I got for you and watch them. Really watch them and listen to what they're saying. But use your eyes. Use your ears in this video I'm fixing to show you. But use your eyes in real life every day and watch and see what's really going on. Check this out.
A few weeks ago, in some small towns near Indianapolis, residents woke up to find these flyers delivered like newspapers on their front lawns. The Ku Klux Klan pushing its comeback. In the quiet neighborhoods of Rutherford, New Jersey, the Klan passed out flyers telling white America to wake up and urging people to join the white supremacist movement. And in Harrison, Arkansas, the Klan put up this billboard celebrating White Pride Radio.
The message is that white people have a right to be proud of who they are. Everybody else has a right to be proud, and I don't deny that.
The Ku Klux Klan are recruiting white people. Well, you're about to see in the next story how the black militia are recruiting only black people. That's right. It's all right for them to do it. Nothing's being said about it. But they don't want white people to recruit white people to stand up for white people. And so what about the white pride? Hell, the blacks, they all about that pride. Black Lives Matter, which we see how good that one's going right now, ain't we? But they want to make a difference between, they want to say the whites are doing it in a wrong way, in a bad way, a malicious way, and the blacks are just doing it to protect themselves.
The KKK is firing up recruiting efforts across the country. Hate group watchdogs say it's a coordinated effort among various Klan organizations, driven by anger over racial and political issues. We are in Northeast Texas. A recruiter with the Ku Klux Klan in these parts has agreed to meet with us. He said to meet him here and that he would take us to a wooded, secluded area where he'd feel more comfortable talking as long as we didn't show his face.
All right, I want you to watch that and hear it. I hope you heard it good. It said the Ku Klux Klan Grand Master or whatever agreed to meet with them in a secretive place where he would feel safer. Well, they making that sound like it's all bad and they're a secretive group and a secretive organization. But you're going to see in the next video about the black militia, the exact same thing. But they don't talk about it in a bad way, or they don't make it look like it's bad. Just keep watching, keep watching.
They're fed up. They're tired.
This is Henry, and he asked us to also alter his voice. He's a recruiter with the Texas Knights.
Is there a concerted effort to recruit new members into the Klan right now? Yes, sir. And in the last few months, how many new members have you recruited? My personal recruitment stance, I have recruited over 40. Over 40? Yes. In the last month? In the last month? Yes, sir. That if you feel that pride and you feel strongly about this, why does the Klan still use the robes and the headdress? Because our government considers us domestic terrorists. They consider us right-wing extremists.
Henry says he joined the Texas Knights 4 years ago after meeting people at right-wing political rallies. Brian Levin is the director of the Center for the Study of Hate and Extremism. He says despite the Klan's efforts to recruit new members, the group is a disappearing relic.
The Klan is not a player anymore. They are masters of smoke and mirrors, of trying to appear important, of trying to appear active and appear bigger when in fact they're not.
Levin says in its heyday of the 1920s, the Ku Klux Klan was deeply ingrained in American society with nearly 5 million members, including elected officials. Today, Levin says the Klan has about 5,000 members.
All they can do now is be an irritant to America rather than a true threat.
All right, now I want you to watch a couple of clips about the black militia and how different they are from the Ku Klux Klan and how they're running around shooting rifles, popping caps, pop, pop, pop. Hell, I'll get to this in a few minutes. They even shooting themselves. But anyhow, see if you can see a difference between the two, where the Ku Klux Klan should be looked on as being bad because all they want is for white people to be looked at as white people and seen as white people, and white people should be able to have their pride in themselves because the blacks have pride in themselves. We got hell, the gays have got a month now, Gay Pride Month, and you got Black History Month. You don't have a White History Month. You don't have a heterosexual Pride Month. No, you don't have none of that. But anyhow, watch this and see. Notice the differences now. Use your eyes and use your ears and watch and listen.
Now to the concerns of another community that too often feels unprotected and the group that's stepping up to do something about it. They're known as the NFAC, an unarmed all-black militia.
All right. She's making them look like they're in desperate need of protection and they're looking out for their own kind. Well, the Ku Klux Klan are just looking out for their own kind. But she's going to start out with a lie right here. And if you use your eyes and your ears, you're going to see the lie. She says they are an unarmed group of people. Just watch this story. Watch it now.
You might have seen an armed black militia that you might have seen at protests in Georgia, Kentucky, and D.C. Joining us now from Atlanta with more on this, NBC News correspondent Morgan Radford. Morgan, tell us about this group.
Mika, good morning. The bottom line is this group says that the U.S. government, as well as law enforcement, simply does not do enough to protect black Americans in this country.
Now, hold it. I got to stop it right there. They're saying the government is not doing enough to protect the black people in this country. Protect them from who? The blacks are killing each other. That's what we see in the news every day. Blacks are killing each other. You don't see stories about whites or Filipinos or little Asian people running around killing blacks. You don't hear about the Puerto Ricans killing those blacks. No, blacks are killing each other. But they want to make it sound like, right opposite from what it is. The government ain't giving them no help. What kind of help does the government need to give you? Well, wait a minute. You want to defund the police already. you defunding the police, and more y'all are getting killed because y'all are killing each other.
Which is why they say they're taking matters into their own hands. And interestingly, Mika, this is a group that is growing. They say they now boast recruits in nearly every single state. So we decided to go and embed with them and see exactly what they're doing and why. Take a listen. The sounds of war right here at home. This is the NFAC, an all-black militia with a mission to defend the black community by any means necessary.
They say they are defending the black community at all means necessary. Well, they're not doing a good job of it because they're looking at the wrong people as being the predators, the ones doing the killing. It's you black people who are killing each other. Y'all are off the chain. Y'all are looking for everything in the world to blame except for you black people. Yes, you are. And they're recruiting, and all states, 50 states in the union, they're all open about it. And you'll see in another story, they won't tell you how many people they have. They're real secretive now. They won't tell you about how many members they have. They asked old Ku Klux Klan boy about recruiting. He said, well, shoot, I recruited 40 last month myself. He told them, they're not trying to hide nothing, but your blacks, they're trying to hide. Use your eyes and your ears, people. Use them.
So this is training for one of the new chapters. Yes. Appearing by the hundreds at protests from Stone Mountain, Georgia to Louisville, Kentucky, demanding justice for police killings and countering what they believe is the threat of right-wing militias.
Did you hear what she said? They think, this black militia think they're protecting themselves against the white people that are against them. Use your ears, use your eyes. Don't just gloss over this crap, what they're saying and what they're showing. Now, they're out there training these people how to use automatic weapons or semi-automatic weapons, whatever you want to call them. They're preparing for a war. Now, let me ask you this. If you would have had a story about white people gathering and shooting guns and training and how to use them and everything, they'd all be locked up. Every one of them would be locked up. No, but it's okay for the blacks to do it because they're in fear for their lives. They should be in fear of each other is what they should be in fear of.
It's a movement started in 2017 by this man, former musician and Army veteran John Grandmaster J. Johnson. Is the movement growing?
By leaps and bounds.
We met with him outside of Cincinnati, where he says another new chapter is now in the works.
The NFAC stands for the Not Effing Around Coalition.
What's behind the name?
The NFAC was born out of the last 4 years under the Trump administration. The deterioration of racial relations in this country. It means that you're preparing yourselves to defend yourselves.
While the group's style echoes the Black Panther Party of the 1960s, their goals are distinct, focusing on defense with the ultimate goal of a black ethno-state.
What makes us so different is that our goal is our own government, our own country.
They want their own place. They want their own country. Now, you let white people start talking like that, Lord have mercy. They would lock their butts up in a heartbeat. It would be called racist. But black people can't be racist. No, they can't be racist. And this guy's covering up. They asked earlier in the Ku Klux Klan story about why they still wearing masks. But you'll see in that next story, they'll talk a little bit more about this. But just keep on watching.
A place where we can determine our own future.
Is violence an option to reach your goals?
The United States was built on violence being an option. Violence should be the last option.
Extremism experts say the group is distinct from far-right militias.
They have not risen to the level of concern of, say, the 3%ers, the Oath Keepers. They have not engaged in violence. In fact, in most of their demonstrations, they have, in fact, coordinated their activities with police.
When you talk about January 6th, and we saw those rioters storm the Capitol. What do you say to critics who say you're no different from them? They're extremists, you're extremists.
Show me where we have done those things. They've killed people. They've disrespected the government to the point where they have invaded its sacred halls. Show me where we've done those things, because we have done none of them.
We were allowed rare access to one of their training sites at a secret location in rural Georgia. We are now driving to the NFAC training facility. We spoke to one member who chose to go by the code name Shy to protect her anonymity. This one is the handgun.
Correct, yes.
And then what do you guys do next?
We are going to the area where we practice our primary weapons firing.
Why did you decide to join this movement?
It's for the cause. Black people, we need to learn how to defend it. This is definitely one way to do it.
Do you all, have normal jobs? You work in all different sectors? And
Absolutely. We're business owners, we're doctors, lawyers, we're your everyday person, anywhere from Walmart to the corporate sector.
What are you all training for?
We're training for self-defense.
A response to show they won't be scared or unprotected any longer. Mika, we asked the group several times to give us an exact number of their membership. They refused to do so, but it appears to be in the thousands based on the number of people who have come to their marches and also based on the number of people who saw at one individual training session. But it's also important to note, Mika, that the NFAC has no record of violent incidents. However, their leader, Grandmaster Jay, has been recently indicted on federal charges by federal officials who allege that he pointed a rifle at officers during that demonstration in support of Breonna Taylor in Louisville, Kentucky last September. That case is ongoing. He says pleaded not guilty, and we are waiting to find out the results of that case, Mika.
First rank, take 2 steps forward.
This is the NFAC. Armed, aggrieved, and increasingly visible.
Y'all know what our rules of engagement are, right? We don't point our weapons at nobody unless they point them at you.
In an America where racial tension is raging. The group is exclusively black. And Grandmaster Jay is the closely guarded, enigmatic leader.
Grandmaster Jay, he's the leader, and he's the one that's got a charge against him now. He told them, don't point their guns at nobody, they're just to defend themselves. But he pointed his gun at some police officers over Breonna. Say her name, Breonna. Say her name, Breonna. Yeah.
He's agreed to speak with us from what he calls a safe house.
Now, you remember in that first story, the Ku Klux Klan member spoke to them in a different place, a safe place. All right, well, he wanted to be in secret. He wanted to be in a safe place somewhere. What's the difference? White people can't feel safe. Only blacks can feel safe. Oh, black people ain't safe, Skip. You see it every day on the news. That's right, I see it every day on the news. Pop, 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 stab, 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 run over you. They ain't safe from each other. No, they are not.
The group says that it's not made up of protesters or demonstrators, that it is a black militia. And we're about to meet the leader, Grandmaster Jay. He's told us to come to a secluded location where he hopes we won't be seen.
One of my jobs is to protect the identity of our members. That is why I am the only one that speaks for the NFAC. You have folks that are veterans, that are corporate execs, that are members that don't want to have to deal in their personal life with the pressures of being a part of this organization. We're going to prove to the world that we can be just as organized, just as disciplined, just as well armed, just as determined as any standing military of any government, not as some mob in the streets that gets together on the weekends to call themselves patriots.
Just as disciplined. This is just as well trained. Yeah, they so doggone trained. The only shooting that went off during their protests in Louisville or somewhere was when their own guns went off and they shot each other or shot themselves. Yeah, they well disciplined, all right. Lord have mercy. If it wasn't so sad, it would be comical. Hell, it is comical. I'm laughing. Now, I know some of you chicken boners out there laughing. You can't help but laugh at this stupidity. That's exactly what it is stupidity. Oh, but they want to make the white man look bad? Ku Klux Klan? I don't see them running around with those semi-automatic rifles shooting each other. No, but you got thousands, did you hear? You got thousands of black militia, and they're getting bigger and bigger. And what are they doing? They train them how to use, but they ain't training them too good, but they train them how to use semi-automatic weapons and defend themselves. Yeah, but you cannot have a white man want to be separate from the blacks and want to defend themselves and feel safe. And we see every day who's doing the killing? The black people. Not your Puerto Rican, not your Asian, not your white people. Now that one old white boy up there in Buffalo, New York, yeah, but he was shot out. He was a rare exception. And but no, you don't see whites running around, running up and down the streets, pop, 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 shooting people. You don't see them running over people, stabbing people. You don't see none of that. All you see are the out-of-control blacks. But nobody wants to talk about it.
Why do you think it's necessary to carry weapons?
I'm not going to answer that question unless you ask that question of every other race that carries weapons, every other civilization that has gone into other countries with weapons. The police carry weapons. Weapons were invented to defend oneself. So it is only common sense that we carry weapons to defend ourselves. It is not a question. It is a necessity.
How would you describe the state of race relations in America right now?
Pathetic. There's no other word. It's pathetic. It has deteriorated to a place that is reminiscent of the early 60s. It is reminiscent of Jim Crow. It is reminiscent of the Lynch era. It is reminiscent of the days of the Ku Klux Klan.
There's a growing face-off between armed groups in the US, but NFAC insists, unlike others, they haven't committed any crimes.
Everything that we've done has been within the confines of the Constitution. The day that the NFAC steps over the line, it will be because the line was already stepped over for us first.
The Black Lives Matter movement is vast and varied, but he doesn't identify with it.
It has been infiltrated by people like Antifa, anarchists, people who come in just to destroy, not to achieve anything.
Many in the very broad network firmly reject that claim. But one thing the groups share is a desire to end racial injustice.
It is the aftermath and the incidents themselves. It's not just the fact that they shot us. It's that once we're shot, as in the case of Breonna Taylor, there's this feet dragging and there's this lack of sense of urgency.
In Louisville, Kentucky, they say they've helped peacefully push for progress, a settlement for Breonna Taylor's family, the 26-year-old killed by police, and a grand jury decision now expected imminently. What if the 3 officers involved aren't prosecuted? What will your response be?
If they decide they don't want to charge anyone, of course they've got to explain that, not only to the population that's there, but also to all of the other members of the legislature that have given this wide focus. Why? And if you can show us in the law why you couldn't do that, then we have to live with that.
Others might not. This is a year dominated by confrontation, and this week could easily bring more. Cordelia Lynch, Sky News.
Well, look at here. I just wanted to show y'all that and let y'all see the difference between the Ku Klux Klan and how it's being looked at and how they can't be proud that they're white, but the blacks, oh, it's all about that black pride and that Black Lives Matter. And hell, they can even run around, train each other how to shoot guns. Pop, 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 they're shooting sideways. I reckon that might be the reason why they're shooting each other. They're shooting sideways. But it's crazy, people. It's really crazy. There's going to be a race war out there. That's what they want. That's exactly what they want. And sad to say, but it's happening. It's going to happen. It's getting worse and worse for white people out there. It's getting worse and worse for Korean people, all you Asian people, and even your Puerto Ricans and all. You know, nobody are safe from the blacks. The blacks aren't even safe from the blacks. We see it every day. Chicago, Philadelphia, Atlanta. I see it here in Augusta. No, it ain't safe. The black population, for the most part, or at least 50-something% of the crimes are committed by black people. So, are they very good people? Are they really as worried and scared as they say they are? Has the white man really put them in that much fear? Well, if they in fear of the white man, they should really be in fear of each other, because it's all about this how you see things. And the media is going to point it where you're going to see bad white man, and good black person, scared white person. Scared black person, scared black person. No, they're not going to tell you the truth. You're not going to hear the truth from them. You'll see the truth if you look, but you're not going to hear them tell you any truth. Look at here. I hope y'all liked the video. If you did, share it with your family and friends. Hit that like button. And I sure appreciate it if y'all subscribe. Alright? Alright. Y'all have a good night now. And I will catch y'all next time on the Chickabone News Network. Pop, pop, pop.
Remarkable. Remarkable.